Good morning, viewers. Once again, welcome to Baraton TV. Today, our topic is the importance of nutrition during this period of COVID-19. Many people have been asking, what do we eat during this COVID-19 period? Both for patients and those who are not even patients, for the community at large. In studio today, we have our guest, Mrs. Grace Maio, from the Department of Foods, Nutrition and Dietetics. Welcome, Mrs. Maio.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
we are glad to have you in studio, and we just want to ask you, enlighten us, educate the community. Tell us, what is the importance of nutrition during this period of COVID-19? And which kinds of food do we eat?
Okay. Thank you, Prof, for that question. When it comes to nutrition, um, we need to, it's something that is constantly with us because food is part of life. So we need to ensure that we are eating well, um, both when we are sick and when we are not sick. So it means we have to maintain a good diet throughout in our lives. But we have certain situations where we may not be able to eat well, so we begin to select foods, especially when we are sick. But under normal circumstances, we need to be eating a very balanced diet. And and before that, we want to talk about, our current situation with the problem of COVID-19 pandemic. We are indoors, we are not doing much, we are depressed, we feel angry, we are so anxious, and so many other issues. All these circumstances create a situation which is not very good for our health. So our immune system gets depressed in a way. So it means we need to boost our immune system at this time. Even if we are not even affected with the problem directly, we could be affected psychologically. So we feel that we are not healthy. That's the feeling. So we need to boost our immune system through a healthy selection of foods, which will help to build our immune system. So by that we mean that we need to have a balanced diet. A balanced diet is a diet or a composition of foods which contain all the nutrients. We can categorize this into carbohydrates. These carbohydrates, they give us energy. And there is more energy requirement when the cell is undergoing stress in such a time. So good amount of energy is required, and the energy can be obtained from the common foods that we have, such as the ugali, that is carbohydrates, the rice, chapati, and all that. We need them in good quantities. We also need protective foods. Protective foods are the um, vitamins and the minerals. Vitamins and the minerals are protective, and we get them from the fruits and vegetables. So we need to have the vegetables around us. Luckily enough, we have plenty of foods within our environment here in this country, and especially now it is the rain season. So we don't have an excuse for that. We need to have fruits, we need to have vegetables. So it is not, something like fruit is not something that you go and get it right away. You have to find a way of getting them available to you. So we need to be practicing gardening in our homes. So we need to have this so that, because at a time like this we may not have a lot of money. Our businesses are closed. So we need to have a backyard garden, so we can have all the varieties, and those ones can be easily available for us. So those ones will help us to build our immune system. They boost our immunity and protect us from getting diseases. And then we also need the proteins. proteins are those we get from both animal and plant food sources. And it includes the beans, the peas, dengue, etc. And then from the animals, we could have the eggs, the milk, etc. So that is another category of nutrients. And then we also have the fats. These ones we need to have them in lesser quantities. So that's also very important for cell functioning and even the brain functioning. In the case of children, they need fats in good quantities. And then beside that, we also need to be drinking enough water. We have to stay hydrated. It is very important because it helps the cells to remove toxins, cleans our cells and our blood, and that's one way of boosting our immunity. And this is one of the ways to boost our immunity during this time.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mayu. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
giving us that sound advice on what to eat. Viewers, you have heard it. We talk about antioxidants. She has talked about proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to just ask you briefly, madam, or people are even asking us, should we drink alcohol during this time of COVID-19? Should we drink alcohol? Is alcohol something that you advise tobacco, to smoke cigarettes? Are those things good for our body, really?
Wow, thank you for mentioning this. This is very, very critical, especially for our young people outside there. These are very disastrous things that people can consume. They are very toxic to the human cells. So something like smoking, for example, it impairs the respiratory system, the functioning of the respiratory system. So in a way, you are creating room for respiratory diseases like COVID-19. So it is very, very important to avoid such things and instead go for the healthy stuff. The nutrients that we have talked about, the vitamins, the minerals, those ones are very important. They maintain your health. Alcohol is something that can impair even your cognitive function, your reasoning capacity. And so, because your mental capacities are incapacitated, you can easily get problems, such as, you are not reasoning properly. You are not in your normal reasoning state. And so you could engage yourself in situations that can land you in problems. For example, getting HIV infection. So these are things we need to avoid, especially as young people. Young people, we need to know who they are. I think they need to understand themselves, that they are our future leaders. Whether in education sector, they are the Matiangis of tomorrow, the Kagwes of tomorrow, and all the like. So they need to be people who are responsible, and it's not something that you can begin suddenly. It's something that you have to build over a long time. So you have to build your career. You need to take time. So you don't become a leader by becoming irresponsible. So it is very important for young people to avoid such behaviors which can land them in trouble.
Thank you very, very much,
Yeah.
Madam. She has told us eloquently and soundly that we should avoid alcohol. We will come back to you in the future, Madam. Thank you very much, Mrs. Maya, for this interview. And we are Baraton TV, here and hereafter, viewing from the beautiful campus of the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton. Bye-bye.
Thank you.